Really?
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 Yeah, really.
Salut la gang, it's your boy Lukael. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. This is episode 11. I wonder how many episodes we're gonna need for this game. So in the last episode, we finally investigated the body, or well, at least we tried to, but because it's still up in the tree, we couldn't really inspect it properly. We're gonna have to try again today to bring the body down, but we did have a talk with a few characters, a lot of them hostile and not at all helpful. One of them being Charles Vildrouin, the coalition official that was in the apartment of the smoker on the balcony, who was this very like patronizing, kind of pedantic guy, which really got on my nerves. And then even worse, we had a talk with Kuno, the little kid who's been throwing stones at the body, who was not helpful at all. And then we even ran into Jean Vicmar and Judith from the 41st Precinct, who are in the hotel in sort of disguise, I guess checking up on me or something like that. So yeah, last episode was like a little bit unpleasant just because a lot of people just being kind of hostile. I can't really blame them, I guess. At least we do have Kim, who still supports us as best as he can. So looking forward to finally inspecting the body properly today. We also have a new part of town to potentially explore if we have time. This is actually my third day in a row of recording Disco Elysium, so I'm trying to get like a little bit ahead of my uploads. It does have the benefit that everything is still pretty fresh in my mind, at least as fresh as can be with this brain of mine. But I have also been taking notes, so we should be doing pretty good. So that's it for the intro. I know you guys don't want a long intro, so without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. Here we are. I got my trusty boombox. Come on, Kuno, you have to admit that this boombox is pretty cool, right? Now, I would never punch this kid, obviously, but I am quite curious what happens if you actually punch the kid. I guess I'm gonna have to look it up, but like, just because he's being a little shit doesn't mean you should be violent with him, right? He is the way he is probably because he's already getting beat up by his parents and like, he's just a kid, so I don't really hold it against him. So do I have a new option now because I talked to Kuno?
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell.
So we do have +1 from Kunofied Non-Vomiter, which somehow is gonna help. Oh, +1 has ammonia. Is that it? Is that all I get, +1? Or is it because I haven't used it yet? Wait, hang on. I guess I'm just gonna have to use it, right? Do I have to have it in my hand? Oh, I just can't use it? I thought it was like something you need to use. And then you get like a temporary boost, but it's just something that's in my items now. So I can't get any better than this? Okay, let's see. Do I have any clothes that give me endurance? We do have this.
There he still is, looking right
okay, 42%
through
with the
his
raincoat.
white eyes. You crack open the
Okay,
ammonia
I
ampoule
did lose
and
the
breathe in.
okay, the ampoule.
The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Let's step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots.
Thankfully.
His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
All right, let's inspect him. I still really want to know what the hell is up with these boots. These weird like mecha boots. Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
What kind of boots are these?
They're armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these are sabatons.
Really, sabatons? That's not a word. Okay, it is a word, but usually it has 2 B's. Sabaton, a piece of armor covering the foot. You can still be a boot, even if it's armor. Don't get pedantic with me, Kim. With his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles. Okay, then what kind of armor is this?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
So Fairweather is the brand? Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't.
So he was like in full armor before this?
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
He nods towards Kuno, who's eyeing you suspiciously. Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there is no rest of the armor.
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Something precious? Like what? You mean like jewelry? What if they told him to strip before they hung him, to demean him? He could have been walking around naked just like this for all we know. I don't think either of this is the case, but what if?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Yeah, very funny.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
The material looks out of place here. It certainly does. That was my first thought when I saw the body.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
The constabulary? I don't think I've heard of the constabulary before. What is that? Whatever's in charge of the RCM? We've lost 6 men. How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Okay. Ka-ching, baby! Nod to the boots. That's a lot, I take it?
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
No, that's not what I meant. That is what ka-ching means, yes. I would feel pretty dirty, like stealing the boots of a corpse. Let's not do that. No, that's not what I meant.
Of course.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter.
What do you mean? I wasn't gonna steal them, I swear. How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
Initial report? These look pretty advanced for a security guard. Yeah.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Knock on the boot?
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Wouldn't boots made of porcelain be really fragile? Like, because it breaks really easily. Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones.
Oh,
These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether.
Because when you look at it like that, like it just looks like one big solid piece of ceramic, which would just break very easily. But I guess it's just like a bunch of little tiny plates.
Like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Okay. Run your finger over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
He tips the drying ball point of his pen on his tongue. E50, 100, 1000.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
I'm not calling my station. You're gonna call your station, Kim. I want to know what people at your station are like. Pull the boot off? I mean, for what? To get it as evidence?
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
I mean, we could remove the boots after getting him down from there, I guess. But what, just to log it as evidence? Or to steal them, but I don't really want to steal them. Better... No, I do kind of want to try. Better not
The
try.
sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
Back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
What kind of rope is this?
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a harbor? In a... I can't come up with anything other than a harbor.
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
So we're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it. They sure wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong. I wish there was a bit better indication of when you get to choose every dialogue before it proceeds and when like picking one will move on to the next screen, right? That's why even when I have access to every reply, I will pick the one that I most want to say just in case I don't get to say the other ones, you know? We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it. I mean, so far that seems kind of the leading theory.
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
No, you feel like it was something else.
Really?
But what?
Makes sense. Believably mundane. I feel like it was something else. Don't ask me, I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next. Well, my inland empire thinks it was something else, but I don't know what. I feel like it was something else?
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
They sure wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
Well, can't we just like open the buckle there? How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
He makes a pulling motion.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Let's inspect those tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
White stars, which are a symbol of the Pericarnassian church, right? I have that in my notes somewhere. The Star of Pericarnassus, or the Chiro.
His corpse is marked by stars,
What will mine be marked by?
alcohol, and heartbreak.
Is this a map of the night sky? Is this a microelectronic system? Is this a national pattern? National pattern?
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
We're missing something here.
I agree.
A sudden ring fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. A very loud zipper.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm.
I saw that.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
A what?
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
Oh. He produces 2 metal cap ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
What do you mean nobody move? The corpse isn't gonna move. I guess I'm not gonna move? He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting then.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
A little ampoule of glass that breaks when you make it? Does it look like this, or is this like an artist rendition? That would be an amazing camera that just like turns like images into like this beautiful painted style. Okay. Feels like you should have opened with that. I don't know why you just did that now.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
He slides the camera closed and tucks it away on his belt. What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
That was so poetic, Kim. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. You should have been an author, Kim, not a policeman. Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
I mean, you can just take another one if you want. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
So, bugs. Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
His eyes, they used to be blue.
Good. The victim is of Occidental descent.
Oh.
Light brown hair, blue eyes.
Occidental?
I mean white.
Oh, then just say that. Tell me, who are you, dead man? +1 talked in your dream. +1, his eyes were baby blue.
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Did I really just miss like a 97% roll? My regular luck is back.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
Alright, back off. I can't believe I missed that. Because I got the double one.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with.
Oh.
Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Really? Observe?
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink, thighs too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Good, that's one way to call it. Relax your eyes.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
That's some nasty shit.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored. Something is coming out of him. He's beaten up. See the bruises? Maybe he was beaten up?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Yeah, thanks, Kuno.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
I think he was upright after death.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Yep, seems like a lynching to me. Could it still be he was moved after death? Maybe he was strangled by someone. I mean, it does seem like a lynching. Well, we could ask the question.
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Something is coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
Wonderful.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
Okay, Kim, if you say so.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Can just yell at them. Let's just ignore the kids. We got lucky, I guess.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. No, better not to say that. Too heavy. Totally! This Buster's not coming back. Deadity dead, 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 dead. What is dead anyway? Now let's go with the Kim's a poet. He's gonna enjoy that, right?
That sounds about right, yes.
He nods in agreement with this advanced piece of conceptualization. Well, back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
Alright, so how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Alright, let me have another look then.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
Well, thankfully Kuno stopped throwing rocks for a while. I have a new thought. The White Morning. Let's see. No voiceovers? Isn't there usually a voiceover for this? And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally, in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him, make him smaller, make him less you. Okay. Plus 20% zoom out distance. Okay. And all motorics learning caps raised by 1. Huh. You see yourself from above. These thoughts, like problems and solutions, sound so... It's written like in such a vague way, like I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to make of that. You can smell the flowers from up here. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. So I'm divorced? Is that what I'm supposed to gather from that? Okay. Let's look at this photo. Lieutenant Kitsuragi snapped this photo of the hangman's tattoos. It displays the intricate web of blue lines stretching across his torso. You have to admit, it looks quite cool.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man. From the pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar.
Who are you?
Gone.
What's the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance.
Okay. Let's put the photo away. I want to get him down, but I really want to get that Inland Empire roll that I missed. And if I bring him down, I guess I'm not gonna get a chance to, so... I guess I'm gonna have to wait until I get a skill point and then put it in Inland Empire. That would be my only chance to, like, have a second chance at it. So I guess we'll just talk to people in the meantime.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Figure out what's going on with this kid. Good try.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Hey Kuno, think you can turn the Kuno down for a moment? Let's talk like normal people. Kuno, listen. I know this boundary pushing thing is new to you, but it's all news for us grown-ups. Kuno, you must have seen all kinds of things throwing stones here. Wanna help the RCM bust a murderer? Okay, none of these is gonna work for him. None of these is gonna work.
Fuck no. What are you? Fucking mentally handicapped?
Kuno, they've almost made you a snitch now.
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer.
He nods big boy style, incredibly proud of himself.
He'd rather die than work with the justice system.
Yeah, I figured.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Okay. And he's back to throwing rocks. Do you have anything else to say?
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think.
Take one step closer.
Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
I just want to ask you some questions.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Listen, child, the smell is so bad that I threw up and I was wondering, what are those strange words you use, girl? Hey, kid. Child, converse with me. You there, behind the fence. What are those strange words you use?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing here. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Okay. This one got a voiceover. I don't know why the last one didn't. Ooh, -1 logic. That's the price of self-delusion. But all of our learning caps have raised to 6. Okay, I'm not really happy about the fact that most of my thoughts are giving me like -1. That's not great. Like +3 perception is nice, but all these ones are giving me -1. Maybe I shouldn't be getting all these thoughts after all. Alright, well, let's get out of here. Well, now I need to get some XP, right? So to get some XP, I guess we'll try and complete some of our tasks. We could call about the boots.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Oh, we can call the 41st again? Alice, please connect me to the 41st again?
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Oh, all I can say is that I lost my gun. Well, if I do it now, Jean isn't gonna be there, right? Because he's in the whirling in rags right now. Hey, I've lost my gun.
10-4, I know I already wrote it in a report, but it will stay on my desk for a few days. Over.
Okay.
Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Oh, I can talk to Sylvie again.
Just a second, officer. Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer.
Last time she hung up on us, so...
Yes, hello?
Hey Sylvie, it's the police again.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Hey, I found my patrol cloak earlier, but have you seen my policeman uniform?
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
The disco things. Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the whirling?
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir.
Oh.
Clogging it completely.
Oh.
After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense. She threw it in the trash.
I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
She doesn't sound like she's actually that sorry. No, that's fine. Hey, have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
She sounds beyond exacerbated. I showed you my gun? When did it happen?
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and...
She stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue. And what did I do?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after.
I should have killed myself. Why would I threaten to kill myself? I mean, look at this world. I would love to stay. Okay. I don't know what to say. Yes, but what happened to my gun? I'm so sorry I put you all through that.
Me neither.
Okay, just... Okay.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns.
Okay.
It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask.
I got everything I need, thanks, and very sorry for bothering you again.
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Yeah, could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me?
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
E50 100,000. The make and model of the armor is Fairweather T500 VE.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The ICP? What's the
The
ICP?
International Collaboration Police? They keep detailed records of all military technology produced by licensed manufacturers. That's one of the reasons the Moral Intern spearheaded the creation of the ICP in the first place.
Okay, gotcha.
57th, over and out.
Thank you, Alice.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Alright, well that's done. I guess we could use this time to go talk to the Hardy Boyz, right? We still haven't done that. Ooh, there's some money there. You just steal that, straight up.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Squint?
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
Look out the window. -12. It's not time yet? +1 mysterious door scene. Not time yet? Okay. Interesting. Hello, Mr. Titus.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. Why do you always leave these things to me, Cam? Don't say anything yet. First, we need to talk about your attitude. Don't say anything.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Cross your arms.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
The little guy looks at his mates in disbelief.
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We are looking for Titus Hardy.
The lieutenant turns to the broad-shouldered man at the end of the table. They do have a pretty shitty attitude, but whatever. We need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Let's scan the room.
No. I's here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy Boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy!
Shouts the scrawny rat-faced man, 2 teeth missing in the front.
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Says the 40-something man from the corner, with a plectrum hanging from his neck. A plectrum? Not sure what a plectrum is.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
A blonde man in his 30s agrees.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
You notice gang tattoos. The man must be either Meske or Saramirizian.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
The fat guy in the middle lets out a little chuckle. Fat Angus.
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Well, what do you think?
Too late. You already scanned the room. You got a pretty good picture.
A picture of what?
Of the actors here. You could take another look at the tracks in the mud on the crime scene. Compare it to these guys.
I'm just gonna ask straight up. So the man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
The lieutenant says without a smile. Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yes, why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him.
Okay, so you're just confessing then?
We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
Okay, well, so much for the mystery. So you just confessed to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
I guess that makes them honest, sure.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
You murdered him just like that? No remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
He says it as if it were worse than dying. Yes, but these were all bad people, criminals, the scum of the earth. Look, I'm just doing my job, that's all. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. Honestly, I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars. That's true. But look, I'm just doing my job.
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary? Prison is a charter. That's what it is.
He spits on the ground before him. So... And I guess we're about to be faced with this problem, right? Because they just admitted to it. So now the next step is like, well, what do we do about it? Because the thing with the RCM is like, is the Revachol citizens militia. It's not like a real police because they're not backed by the government. because there's no government in Revachol. So, like, what real authority do we have? We don't really have any, right? And I guess that's going to be the whole conflict here, is like they're going to be like, well, what are you going to do about it? Arrest us? Because we're not going to go. And like it's just the two of us, so like, what's me and Kim supposed to do? We don't really have any authority here. Like, we have a gun, at least Kim has a gun, but what about it? We can't just kill all these guys. Like, we can give them a little ticket that says, oh, you guys have to show up at the police station, and they're gonna be like, fuck this shit. So, what's next?
He's clearly been in solitary confinement, and at a young age, nonetheless.
Pauvre Alain.
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
The lieutenant replies dryly. Okay, so who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys.
Okay, we're definitely gonna need some reinforcements here. Like, we need to call the full precinct or something.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head. I really don't like your attitude.
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than others. Let's not address her. No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
He sounds more amused than angry. You do. You give the commands. I thought she did. The biggest animal dominates the herd. I'm guessing it's the big one. Gangs are usually run by the oldest, most venerable member. Oh, how interesting. You probably expect me to say that it's him, right? But maybe I could, like, provoke him by saying it's someone else. I could say it's her. Thought she did.
It wasn't a question, dickwad. How fucking stupid are you?
This asshole is worse than... Titus runs the Hardy Boyz, genius. That's why we're called the Hardy Boyz. Ain't that right, fellas?
Okay, so you're responsible then.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
She gives Titus a stern look. And when did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind Titus.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Okay, and how long had you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
Oh, you mean Joyce? He came around 3 weeks ago when... Oh. Wait, so is that Gaumont then? Is the hangman Mr. Gaumont? Because I thought Joyce came here to replace him after negotiation weren't working. But wasn't Gaumont like a... Yeah, he was a dwarf. Mr. Gaumont is a dwarf, so that can't be the guy there. I guess he could be like one of his bodyguards. Could have been one of the bodyguards for Mr. Gaumont.
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? A representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
The lieutenant pretends to check his notes.
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
What? The Pines cow? So you're not talking about Joyce. Who are you talking about then?
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
I mean, I have a very simple question. It's why did you... I can't believe they're so nonchalant about killing guys. It's like, yep, we killed him. All of us? Yep. Like, what's wrong with you? Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
a live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Wait, so you're not even sure, like, who he is or who sent him, and you killed him before that? Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces?
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm R&E's goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all!
Really?
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 Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some R&E's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
And you didn't think maybe he was, like, messing around?
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
He points at the stage.
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Yeah, it is. Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong? I shouldn't be joking in the middle of an investigation, but, like, it might warm them up to me.
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wipes spittle from his mouth, really?
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
Well, I mean, you want to start with the worst shit he's done, and then you mention all the other ones. It's not that strange.
He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
He cracks his knuckles. Well, I'm starting to think maybe you guys were right to kill this guy.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
I mean, that's the problem with a place that doesn't really have a police, right? Like the Débardeur Union is the de facto police in Martinez, so of course if a guy like that steps out of line, they're the ones that are gonna take care of him, but like, where they should have maybe put him in like some sort of jail, or like reported him to the RCM or something like that, they went to like the extreme of just killing him outright. Which is, I guess, sort of justified if what they're saying is true. But, like, should you kill someone? I'm not really sure. Now, we're going to get to an interesting point in the game where... What if we find that they're justified? Like, our job as police is still to investigate and, I guess, arrest the perpetrators. But then what if Harry, the player, me, feels like they kind of were right to do that? I'm not saying they were right to kill the guy, but if you really did like rape someone and then like threaten them to kill them, I mean, maybe you should have just imprisoned him or like reported him to the RCM. It's like, what powers do the RCM actually have? Like, can they, is there like a jail somewhere? He mentioned something earlier, like some kind of prison. What was it, La Passion, something that sounded like a prison. So I guess they do have a prison where they can send people. Y'all should have just reported him, and then maybe the RCM would have thrown him in jail.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming.
Oh, could it be Sylvie?
Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down.
Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
He repeats like a parrot.
Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation.
Okay,
Let
right,
them
but...
talk about it.
Right, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No, you're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
Oh, so when we started, our only option to end the conversation was, why don't I just arrest you? But now we can just say, what are we going to do now? How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Yeah.
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
Do you guys think there's a cop school? Like, don't you know what the RCM is?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service.
So there is a cop school. Interesting.
Can you give us a few more details? Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams.
I mean, at this point, why does it matter, Kim? Like, we found the culprit. I'm just asking questions just because, but like, does it really matter how they did it?
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
And yet his neck didn't snap? That's what Kim said?
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Wasn't he a trained killer from Aranier's special forces? If yes, then how did you manage to overpower him? Where did this overpowering happen? Things aren't quite right here, are they? What do you mean by that?
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed.
Yeah.
The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under the pressure?
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Sure wish I wasn't failing every single roll I fucking make. Was India a trained killer?
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
Alright, where did this overpowering happen?
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much.
Like what, Copper?
Oh, okay, let's conclude the questioning. I'm not gonna try and antagonize this guy even further.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
Lizzie, why don't you stay out of this,
I think
please?
we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus.
Oh? The lieutenant closes his notebook.
I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
So you're saying it's not what happened?
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Does feel pretty lucky.
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
Ooh, establish authority, 3%. Weak when you first met. I found someone who saw the hanging, right? Charles Villedrouin. I mean, you didn't really see it, though. Okay, bye. If it's titties, then Monica's. Okay, so that was something. Not what I expected. Did not expect someone to just step in and admit to the murder. But I guess Kim is saying that, like, it can't be that simple. What do you think, Kim?
Yes?
Nothing to say about that, huh? We almost have a skill point. Let's talk to Tommy again. It's been a long time. We're kind of overdue to talk again, right? Ask him about the drug trade.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
He folds his hands behind his head and leans back.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Do you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking? Oh, can't we be a little more subtle than that? I need to get high and I'm looking for a dealer. Let me get straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs. Oh, man. Like if a fucking policeman just comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, do you have some drugs?" You'd have to be stupid to just come clean about it, right? But Tommy's been really nice to us, so I wonder if I like just asking him straight up, maybe he would just... He kind of seems like the type who would just be like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, we do that. Sure, my man." Maybe it's just be straight with you.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Then why are you still hanging around?
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo. And it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Well, who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Alright, that's fair, Tommy. I don't want to put you on the spot. Conceptualization, formidable. He's a poet. Hit him with your best verse. +1 thanks to the icosahedral red die. Let's try it.
Your best verse?
Damn.
You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no. What are you doing?
She broke me. She fucking broke me.
That's brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
No, Tommy. These are my rhymes. Listen. She fucked me till I bled.
That's,
Oh, man. Why do I miss every fucking roll? Like, I got this crazy, insane, like, 3% roll with the billionaire, right? Somehow. And then every other roll, I'm so bad at.
In the name of God, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Kim. It's not real, guys. It's not my actual thoughts. It's a poem. I will never be the same again. She's always there. Fuck the case. Fuck everything. It's just a poem, guys.
Yeah, I get that, and it's cool, but... Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust, they're honest. So, thanks, man.
Tommy's such a nice guy. He's like, you know what? They're not very good, but they come from the heart, so respect, my man. You're alright, Tommy.
Yes, and I also thank you for stopping. We have a drug investigation to return to. How about we do that?
We can try the empathy again. +1 light your emotional poem. Let me guess, I'm gonna fail that again.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Man, you look sad. What's going on with you?
I'm okay, man. Just... the jams got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
The man recedes into his days of words.
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct. Damn. It's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
That's all for now. Why is my luck so fucking bad? I'm getting like tired of this shit. When you're missing every like even 40%, 50%, like 60% rolls, it's like, goddamn. Can't I succeed at anything?
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I found this mug in the trash. Is that yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
You want to buy it? Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
Hey, you're a lorry man, right? What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
So even your refusal to take drug comes back to you being a racist.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Hold on. But they make Algul alcohol in Ilmara too. I was told they do.
I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
So I take it you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez. Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right?
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Took him a moment to understand what I was doing. He was like, are you trying to get me to snitch? I'm not snitching. Well, then what are you still hanging around here for? Most other camionneurs have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Whaling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his luck and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
He takes a long suck on his cigarette, appearing to savor the taste. Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty, is what it is.
The man shakes his head, dismayed, furiously pulling on his cigarette. Well, if it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Wait, the street vendor south of here? That guy's a lorry driver?
Of course he's a lorry driver.
Oh.
What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer's stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Really?
His tribe are natural liars.
Okay.
It's in their blood.
Stop.
He's your man, alright? 100%.
Okay, I'm not sure I can believe you, but it's a lead.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until
Yeah.
we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Well, guess we need to pay him a visit then.
Guess so.
He grins contented with himself. I don't really believe you, but it's a lead, I guess. Alright, well, I finally got my skill point. So, what did we need for the body again? Inland Empire, right? I don't want to waste like a skill point on that, but...
The man before you is naked, but...
Plus my Inland Empire is already pretty high. It's already at 5. Alright, let's level it up. Alright, well, put a point in it, so now we can try again.
Is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots.
So we're at 97%. I think it was already at 97% the first time I tried, and I just failed because I got the double 1. Just my luck. Alright, tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
Where have you gone? I can see you're gone, but who are you? What is happening? I hate you. You stink and you're boring. Yeah, I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Well, I don't agree with that. Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
It does kind of sound that way. I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Kobo.
Kobo? Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your...
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
Imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you! Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
He loves those.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie.
Copperoonie?
Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Well, that's a good guess right there. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Okay, that's fair. Who killed you?
Love did me in, Provocopo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
I don't have anything else to do. This case is all I have. That's kind of true. Because he told me to, not towards him. Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous? Maybe. The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. The face rotates before you slowly.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
Something is on its way? A miracle from the northwest? Okay. I hate you, you stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A deep-sea creature? A baby affected with harlequinism? You don't remind me of anyone. A deep-sea creature, sure.
No, not quite. Be fair now.
Nope.
Sure I do. You just don't want to admit it.
Enough.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
This is one of a few instances where the voiceovers don't match what's written, and like I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to listen to. I guess the text is the correct answer, right? Ask me your little questions, freshen your memory, create associations, remind yourself of your mortality, Copolopo.
Of course. Come back later, Corpo.
Oh,
Amuse yourself
you read
with
this
my
one.
frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Okay, the preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
Yeah, if only we had like a ladder.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Can't someone else do it? We could saw the branch, true. Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. Maybe we could shoot him down. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor? Yeah, that's gonna go well. I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
I mean, it's not that tall of a tree. And like, these little planks might hold my weight. Can't someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
I mean, someone who's below detective. Yeah, exactly. Call the police. You have a point there.
Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now, doing the exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands.
He covers his nose.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Is it really a concern at this point? He's been here for like a week, so I think any damage that could have been done has kind of been done already. Maybe we could shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Yeah. Point to it. There, the buckle holds the belt together. I don't know, just, you know, shoot up there maybe? Point towards the branch. Just shoot the belt, the bullet will break it. The buckle, I guess?
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
I don't like knowing that they've been paying attention to everything we've been saying this whole time.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno.
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen? Actually, don't. It has bad idea written all over it. I kind of agree. Wait, let me try. Say nothing, let him choose. Yeah, Kim, why don't you choose for once?
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks.
A paper cartridge? It's an interesting gun.
He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner. Shoot that motherfucker down. Say nothing. I mean, he looks like he's really focused, so I'd rather just say nothing.
He's gonna fucking
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
Well, you tried your best.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
fucking idiot! Look about asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Can say it's okay, man. God damn it, get your shit together. Try again, maybe? You wanna maybe try again?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised.
I'm surprised you even tried, Kim. Like, this does have kind of bad idea written all over it. Like, this might attract attention, it could compromise the body, like, it could do a number of things, so I'm kind of surprised you actually went for it. He looks around at the windows overlooking the yard.
Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
Do I want to console him? Empathy said not to do it, but it's really tempting to do it. It's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Clad.
Kuno, not now.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Well, what now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Can I have the gun? I should try. No, I don't think, with my luck, that wouldn't go any better. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appear to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
True, true. Yeah, wait, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. Okay, so it looks like we don't really have a choice then if we want to get him down. Can I really not try and climb up this thing?
Apricot chewing gum scented one.
Curious about this.
August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you in the dark, like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through your whole body. Immediately, you know that you've entered a completely different world.
That is how it feels, isn't it? +2. More perception? I don't need more perception. I already have so much. Betrayal lingers everywhere. Why would it affect your perception? I guess because, yeah, it's the smelling and the tasting of the apricot, but still. Okay, well, I guess that's good. Let's see.
The man before you is naked.
We need to talk about getting him down again. The lieutenant inspects the belt. His forehead is lined with worry. Can I have the gun? I'm gonna miss. Definitely gonna miss. I should try.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks.
He pauses, then shrugs and proceeds to load the pistolet.
Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
The piece shines in his outstretched hand.
They only have one gun.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
I've had it with these kids. Take the gun.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
You banana yourself. Feel the weight first.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
That's true, I wouldn't miss. Say shut up. 17%. Close your left eye first. Point the gun at her? Oh my god. Obviously we're not gonna do that. Jesus. Like, close your eyes first.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the morning light as the corpse slowly rotates.
Kuno, stop throwing rocks at it. You're making him move.
The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sync up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
Gonna kill this kid. No, let's be the adult. I'm gonna miss. +1 branch movement analyzed. I'm gonna miss.
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you?
Communism.
Very funny.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right.
Really?
Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
You've been policed. RCM, baby, RCM. How did I do that? Who's laughing now, you little shit? None of these is really a good answer. Like, it's not the time for a one-liner. I also don't want to antagonize the kids, because it's not gonna work. There's gonna be like, whatever. I guess.
Well, fuck you, Kurpale!
Despite her words, her tone seems celebratory. And I still need to do one of these. How did I do that?
By being a damn good shot. Ace is high.
Lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap it.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves.
So it's just a high five. You can leave him hanging? Can you imagine? Can you imagine leaving Kim hanging here? Slap it, of course. Let's go high five. Yeah.
The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap.
Damn,
it's
Kim.
precise and down to the point.
Didn't have to slap me so hard.
I knew these guys were
His voice is deeply approving. Anyways, what now?
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Are you about to barf?
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Should we really be doing this like here? Can't we like take it somewhere? Can't we take it to the station or like... I don't feel like we should be doing this out in front of these kids. Wait, field autopsy?
Yes. The 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I can't say I'm fully satisfied with that part. We should search for prints, maybe.
He points to the spring mud around you.
2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job.
Gold star.
3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene.
Were we really trained for this? Like, I mean, we're not like coroners.
The fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
Let's not do this in front of these kids.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, it stinks.
Don't we have someone else for the autopsy, like a doctor?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all.
Honorary rank?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is lieutenant detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse.
Why is that my only answer now? I don't think I'm a detective.
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise.
Okay, alright.
In the meantime, we should interview Everard Clare, the leader of the union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor is just east of here, and we've already found a way in.
That's right.
I would also suggest we interview Joyce, the Wild Pines representative. But we've already done that, so good for us. 1 down, 1 to go.
Is this the famous list of initial interviews?
Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
So we're just gonna leave him on the ground there? I mean, the kids, what if the kids start like poking it and messing around with it?
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion. By autopsy, the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Wait, I thought you wanted to take a break, so we're just doing this now then? Do you have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, I have gardening gloves, maybe they are enough.
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
Oh yeah, that's fair. We just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form in your ledger?
That's right.
Okay. Open your ledger at the field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
This is gonna be fun.
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
1. Assistant.
That's you.
Write the initials HDB.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
Coroner's case number
KK57-0803.0815.
Oh, you just know that by heart?
That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Okay, let's write it down.
Next.
Name.
NA. Next.
Date of birth.
NA.
Age.
Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I mean, if Kim says 50, let's just do 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Race.
Mondial. Subgroup Occidental. as per your observation.
Mondial? What other groups are there? Fucking aliens?
The pudgy mess looks neither mondial nor occidental. It doesn't even look human. The next line says,
Sex? Yes, please.
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
I love that you can write all of these. Male, sure.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death. That would be, at this point, 9 days ago, right? Wait, no. 10 days ago at this point.
We're still going with March 4th, 51.
All right.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
What exactly is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
Well, there's been plenty of that, hasn't there?
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
Agreed, no treatment.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse's chest, as if in preparation.
I mean, I know it's some people's job to do this, but can you imagine? Like, you just see this corpse that's been there for like a full week. You just put on your little latex gloves, and you just gotta dig in there. Like, ugh. Disgusting!
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then...
I really thought we were going to wait before doing this, but I guess we're not. I guess we're just doing this now.
Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosenkrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else.
The torso!
And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today.
Damn.
42 stations of breath.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't remember what the exact population of Revachol is, or if it's even mentioned, but I guess you would find like many tens of people dead every day. That's grim.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
All right, external examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label. Is that really important?
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Let's write it down.
The boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1, The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini.
Damn, you go so in depth, Kim. You really know your stuff.
The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing.
Is it really that cold?
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on? Why would I do that? Let's just write it down, please.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max.
Sounds like you just don't throw that hard, Kuno. Maybe you should try harder next time.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
Write down, but amend for high velocity. No, why would I do that? Just write down. Fuck Kuno.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. Oh god, here we go. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Pet the chain cutters. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull out the rubber gripped cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now...
He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck.
We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully. With as much precision as you can.
Well then you should do it.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
See looks blasé. Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. I'm not your pig, Kuno. Look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
Cut the belt off. There's no way I'm gonna get that. I've already wasted my luck for today.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
How? I don't understand. I don't understand my luck. How can I be both so unlucky and lucky at the same time? I don't get it.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
The lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there is a gap.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
Do we need to do this in front of the kids?
No! It's gonna happen, see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Yeah, let's...
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Unremarkable. Let's not inspect the genitals, please. Let's just write it down.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
This scarring is extensive, way more than the law officials.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item. Hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. Let the lieutenant work alone.
Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle.
Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. Can't we get some kind of like perfumed handkerchief or like a gas mask or something? Internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Why would I?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Nope. Just write NA. I'm just trying to be professional here.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
He gets close to the swollen mouth hole, eyes squinting from the fumes.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
It's fucking disgusting.
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Now I wish my perception wasn't so high.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
What is wrong with these kids?
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system.
Back hunched, as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid, ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Look inside the mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Why would I look deeper inside? I mean, what if I find something?
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Then why'd you give me the option?
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
The lieutenant repeats impatiently. He lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Well, that was a waste of a healing charge.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Excuse me? Relating to, situated in or near, affecting the liver and bile. Okay. Why, don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
Alright.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Okay, well, write NA and add toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Is all of this really important? Like, I guess, of course, if you're police, you want to be thorough, like, you want a thorough report, because a man just died. Like, this is important shit. But at the same time, like, because this is just a citizen's militia, you know, it feels almost too official for what they are. But I guess they are professional and thorough with their investigation. But it's like, does it really matter to get so much detail about the state of the corpse? I guess we don't really know how he died, but someone confessed to the murder. I guess that doesn't mean it's the truth, but also I wonder how much like research the writers of this game had to do into actual like autopsy work, right? Because this seems too in-depth to be just out of the blue, out of their imagination. They probably had to go through like what it's actually like to inspect a body, I assume.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. Write it down amid the voila. Keep the voila. We have to keep a little bit of weirdness in there, right? Let's keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries, summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Alright, bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Okay.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. A, opinion, fatal injury. B, non-fatal post-mortem. Yeah, non-fatal.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions?
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
I guess you could call it that.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Don't give him that, Kim.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes.
Opinion, fatal injury, non-fatal post-mortem, yeah.
Right. Next?
Ligature mark? What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Okay. Ligature mark?
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Fatal injury, I guess? That's what killed him, right?
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Are we finally gonna get rid of this thing? First, how did it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
Well, you should hold your breath right now.
Then, given the state of decay here, I consider establishing the victim's ethnicity a minor success.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Alrighty then. What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Oh, you will, really? Okay, let's rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
I don't think we did.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries.
Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Yeah, but to where, brother?
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away.
So which was it that killed you then, love or communism?
Huh?
You said love killed you, but when you fell down you said it was communism.
You're misquoting me, Rooney. I said communism killed me. Love did me in.
Okay.
You really need to learn the difference, buddy. This is embarrassing.
You're embarrassing.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dream.
I would rather not. So this one is perception. We do have very high perception. +1, look in the mouth. -1, established probable cause. Just watch, I'm gonna fail this one, even though it's 72%.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What is this? I hope we find something new, maybe something we overlooked.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Let's not crawl up his nostrils. I guess there might be something in the mouth, right? Ah, but I don't have the gloves on. That's gross. Put your fingers in his mouth. I hope there's something in there.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it. This feels right. No. Let's open our eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate.
Something? Please tell me there's something.
You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye.
Ooh.
It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
An abrasion collar. Abrasion collar?
Abrasion collar.
The lieutenant looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open at the copy paper.
Kuno is silent.
Wow. Well, that's a surprise. Touch it with your finger gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Oh, why do I gotta put my finger in? Kim, can't you do that? You've got the gloves on.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage.
Ew.
Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
Brainstem? What am I doing? Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called.
Feel around?
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
Well, I assume a bullet, right? Is this what this is leading to? But if there was a bullet, wouldn't there be like an exit wound on the back of his head?
This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
This whole episode's been really disgusting. It's like the most disgusting thing I've ever uploaded to my channel. Push deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The undulations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Kuno's voice is hushed.
Quivering with awe.
Let's push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull.
I really don't need all this
The cavity
detail.
goes
This is
further,
making me like...
but your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Oh god, I'm gonna get this is gonna get infected. I should have put my fucking gardening gloves on. I feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
Spec the skull first.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it. From the inside, the object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
Did the edges of this thing really cut into my finger? Because, like, I'm gonna cut this hand off. That's disgusting.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Forget about the fucking exit wound, Beano. The pig is wearing him like a fuck puppet.
72%. That's a red check. +1 precise spot of exit wound. Okay, please don't fail me now. Okay, I got it. That's disgusting.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
I got it.
My pig's fucking got it?
He's watching his old man get the big prize at the claw game.
What? What is it?
Slowly pull your fingers out.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth,
Ew.
covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
So, a bullet then?
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
Oh. The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it. Drop it in.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-calibre. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Keep it, Lieutenant, as a gift.
No, you deserve it. We can log it later.
The lieutenant drops the bag in your bloody hand. It feels light. I'm gonna have to wash this hand with fucking bleach.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth.
This should have been you doing this, Kim. You should have spotted this, and you should have fished it out with your fucking latex
High
gloves.
velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
He underlines the injury forcefully. Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
So he would have died from the bullet, not from the hanging then. Wasn't that what we thought the last time? Clean your hand in the handkerchief. Is this the only option I'm gonna get to clean my hand? Because I'm gonna take it.
That was then. This time we have extensive tissue destruction away from the wound track. This time we have a bullet.
God damn right.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion? Non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
What was the treatment again? Treatment?
As I said, treatment is an attempt to manipulate the body after death, to hide the real cause with a false cause.
Oh.
In this case...
So you're saying that maybe someone shot him, and then they hanged him to make it look like a hanging instead?
This injury here.
He points to the mark encircling the corpse's neck. The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dead dabba doop doop? You think so?
I did not just come up with this. I have had my doubts since we found no signs of struggle on his wrist. No claw marks on his neck. Why? Why didn't he fight for his life? There have been other signs too. Small details.
Secret task
Everything
complete.
is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here. As we did, foolhardily. Well, no more.
Secret task complete. Find the bullet before you get fooled. Interesting. Well, then I'm so glad we got these damn rolls. Because otherwise we would have been operating on false information.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost.
I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
In the evening? You mean I have to spend the rest of the day with my hands fucking covered in blood? Can I just go wash myself now? Why would anyone do this?
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers?
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Okay, what happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
Oh. You'll be gone? What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this.
But it's still so early.
I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Thanks, Kim. That wasn't easy, but it does mean a lot coming from you.
The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away, dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic.
I told you I was a great detective, deep down.
Detective.
That healed some morale. How about that?
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
Okay, so I should just do this later then, right? We should come back to this like when I'm about to go to bed. Let's leave then. We can bag him later. I still need you, Kim. I don't want to be alone. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so we have some skill points. 2 skill points. We got the bullet here. The bullet mushroomed out on impact. It now looks more like a fanciful jacket button than something that could pierce skin, flesh, and bone. Could it be that he was wearing like a helmet? And like the helmet was so hard that it stopped the bullet from exiting the head, maybe? Okay, I'm not going to interact with it yet, because that might take a while. The victim's tattoos. Ask around about tattoos' possible meaning. Talk to about 2 people about them for this. 2 people? Who would know about tattoos? Prove your authority to Titus Hardy. You have to gain authority in Titus's eyes for the investigation to advance. Soften him up first. Maybe investigate the crime scene or the body. Look for a witness. Get help from the union boss or the company rep. Tie them to any other crimes. Okay. Well, we haven't talked to Everett yet. Could go back and talk to Joyce again. There's a few things we could do, sure. Aces high. That's a new thought we just got. Temporary research bonus +1 empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi. The Inso-Indian Civil War was not the first war to see the use of aerostatic aircraft on both sides, but it was the longest. For 8 years, folded multi-rotor aircrafts crisscrossed the air above Revachol, Ozone, Face à la Mer, and the Arcade Islands. They made sweeps over sandy beaches and shot each other out of the blue sky, then sank as wrecks to the bottom of the sea. The Aces High was accustomed on the the high five. The Aces High was accustomed on the revolutionary side, performed by squadron mates after landing. Lieutenant Kitsuragi likes it. Why is that? Okay, well, let's unlock. And let's get Aces High, sure. I guess I'm gonna keep a spare skill point in case I need it, right? In case I need it to like attempt a roll that's really hard, maybe. Okay, so still lots to do. Look at the tracks, look at the bullet, go and talk to the Hardy Boyz, go talk to Everett, explore the rest of town. There is so much to do in this game. We're far from done, so talk to the kids again maybe. Snap out of it, Kuno. That was a really disgusting episode. Some of these descriptions we were getting a little too graphic even for me. Like, I don't want to think about my hand going into the mouth of like a bloated corpse after a full week. You know, that's really revolting. But this is a good thing done. Are you guys happy? I finally inspected the body. A full autopsy has been performed and we learned quite a few interesting things, so it looks like the hanging was just a pretense. It was all just a setup, an illusion to hide what really happened. But why? Why would they go to all this trouble to hide what happened? Because why does it matter? If they were going to confess to the murder anyways, like why does it matter that you hanged him or shot him? I wonder. Really curious about where this whole story is going. Because like, even if they did hang him, if they had truly confessed to it, we would kind of hit a wall, right? Because we don't really have any authority to arrest that many people here. As they made sure to make clear to us, like, it's just the 2 of us and then there's this whole gang, like, we can't really arrest them without causing a scene. Probably wouldn't go that well for us. So, what's gonna be next? I'm not sure, but we will find out soon enough. So that's going to be it for today. As always, I want to thank you for joining me on this disgusting adventure. So yeah, we'll be continuing our investigation very soon. With all that being said, I had fun playing this. Hope you had fun watching it. And I will see you in the next episode for some more Disco Elysium. À la prochaine.